What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Unassisted podcast, and it is episode number 16 today. And what a better way to get into another episode, having another guest. I'm very excited for this one. We've got Toitan, who is really coming up in the natural bodybuilding scene. And yeah, we'll elaborate on that shortly. But yeah, thank you for getting on the podcast, man. It's been awesome to see what you've been doing recently. So yeah, it's exciting to have you a guest for sure.
Yeah, no problem. I'm happy to be here, especially because you were there at the UK DFBA show I did in 2023, and you handed me my award, and that was like a sick moment. Even speaking
I
with you
know, yeah.
backstage afterwards was monumental for me.
Yeah, man. It's like kind of getting goosebumps thinking about it. It's like full circle, man. Like
Yeah,
I remember literally seeing you there as just getting into it, being a
yeah,
teen athlete and so much less muscle, but promise with your physique and loads of potential. I'll be honest, and I thought you were going to grow a lot and I thought you were going to go very far, but I definitely didn't expect it to be as extreme as it was.
yeah.
Like it was so impressive how far you took your physique. And yeah, just yeah, it's pretty cool. Like I gave you that award and you were kind of like in the mix, a decent athlete, lots of potential, but now you're just leading from the front, man. And obviously you've had a really good season so far. But yeah, so I guess we'll get straight into it. Like essentially what I think will be good, we'll have a bit of a chat, just generally speaking, but also getting a good understanding of kind of because for a lot of people watching this video, I bet they're probably firstly very intrigued on like what your progress looks like. I'll get your Instagram up soon and we can show people, but people will really want to know kind of what you did because I know for a fact you have crazy genetics, but at the same time, that isn't just genetics. That is, and I've seen it. I've seen it on your Instagram.
Yeah.
You put the work in, and I think it's a really cool example of what happens when you get good genetics with hard work together. But you've been with your coach since the same coach.
2022. So yeah, same coach I've been with Leon now since September 2022.
Yeah, yeah. So 2022, that was the show was in 2020. Yeah, it was, wasn't it? Oh, you know,
The
2023.
show the show was 2023. I
Yeah,
started
yeah.
literally I started university, and I was like, I have, because I was getting student finance. I was like, okay, I have like extra money here, and I really want to like take bodybuilding a lot more seriously.
Mm,
And I'd always seen like, especially because I really like posing, I'd
yeah.
always seen the way Leon would pose and stuff, and I was just like, yeah, like let's just sign up and see where it goes from there. Like I always had the plan of competing, but
Mm,
yeah, signing up was like the first step of like making it more reality.
okay, yeah, yeah. We'll go back in a second and talk about like literally how you got into training and all that stuff. But before
Yeah.
that, how old were you when you started with a coach? I think it's a good example of the importance of doing this early.
Eight, yeah, 18.
Yeah,
18.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I was 19 when I first got a coach. I think that age is if you get in early, I think it's
Yeah.
such a game changer. Like just before I went to university, it's really like those years you can just get ahead by the time you're where you're at now. It's like how you can
Yeah.
be really pushing it to the top.
100%.
So but yeah, so run me through like how you got what got you into training start like and how long when did you start training?
I started training at 16.
Mm.
It was coming off the back of coming off the back of lockdown, because just before lockdown, my mother had passed away.
Okay,
And
yeah.
so obviously like the lockdown period and like isolation and stuff, it's quite hard like
Hard.
mentally for like everyone. And at first, literally like all of my friends were just going to the gym, like they
Yeah.
were just going. And I guess at that time it was a form of like being sociable, because like I literally, one of my best friend Sam, he was like, oh, do you want to come? And I was just like, sure. And then from there it was just fun, because it's like everyone would like, there'd be sessions where it's like six of us and we're all training arms, or like we're all doing bench press, we're all going for PRs, and like that was like awesome, like that sense of community and like a social event. And Yeah, so I kind of just started training from there. And then eventually, like, because I was going to like a commercial third gym kind of thing. And then in my local like area, they opened up like a more bodybuilding kind of gym.
Yeah, yeah.
and that's where I'm starting to meet more people that were like into bodybuilding and like speaking to people. And I got my first ever coach. So it was one just before Leon. He like first introduced me to like bodybuilding, like
Mm.
different like categories and stuff like that. And that was in 2021, so I was 17.
Oh wow, so
And
you got in
yes,
very young age.
I've been like
Yeah,
programmed for quite a while now. And that was literally the first year I watched the Olympia, and I was like, this is wild, like this is fucking crazy.
yeah,
And yeah, and then from there I was just like, yeah, I'm gonna compete at some point in my life.
yeah, yeah. That's
Yeah,
awesome, man. I do think when you're young, like when you first get into training, it's so important for anyone when they first start, like having that like positive kind of environment and
yeah,
like something that keeps you turning up. Because I think nowadays a lot of the time people struggle because let's say you're like 25 years old, never trained, and you try and get into training, just go to a local pure gym and that all
yeah,
your friends are like, it's you're not as close with your friends anymore, and you're going on your
yeah,
own. So
yeah.
hard to get into it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so I've always like because of that, I've always associated training as like I know some people look at and take motivation from like emotion and being like super negative going into it, like with the mindset. But like training for me is always it's like a privilege. It's like a
yeah.
fun pastime. So that's something that always keeps me like going into it. Yeah, I think it's very important.
Yeah, 100%. And especially when you're young, because I think also when you're young, if you go on your own, it can be a bit intimidating. So having lots of friends around and just loving that process is, I
Yeah,
always say to clients, like enjoyment is such a key thing that you have to enjoy what you're doing. Like if you don't enjoy a movement and you want to do something a little less optimal, but you enjoy it and you can't wait to
yeah.
get into that gym, I think that is really, really key for sure. Did you play any sports or when
Yeah, I grew up playing basketball for for the majority of my childhood,
like
and then
Elliot?
yeah,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah, big up.
I played football for a couple years, and then I just destroyed my knees
Yeah.
like randomly, and then I just literally I stopped playing sports like around like 15ish.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That makes sense. I do think like the top like bodybuilders, they all have a sporting kind of background to start off.
Kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
You can't tell that you destroyed your knees. Probably got some of the biggest legs
yeah.
in natty bodybuilding. It's pretty
Yeah,
mad. What was
managed
your
to.
initial like interest in bodybuilding? Because it's quite rare for someone who's 17, 18 to
Mm.
look at the Olympia and be like, this is what I want to do.
It's
Um,
if anyone out there, if you have the time, search up Chris Bumstead posing routine 2021. The whole atmosphere and aura of like how he came out and the music and everything, that was literally I watched it and I was like, holy shit, like this is fucking crazy. I'd always like I'd always seen like I scroll through my camera and I have like literally this screenshot of Arnold doing the 3/4 like quarter pose. And like I'm gonna learn how to do this because I always just thought like the poses were cool. Like from the jump, I always thought the posing was cool. But watching Chris's routine in 2021 and Terrence as well, I was just like, this is, I just like the posing was really my main thing. Like, I was like, yeah, this is crazy. I want to try to do that pretty much.
Mm.
Yeah, man. You can see it in your routines, like your routine at the WMBF that you
Thank you.
done. Like you can see that like inspiration from those guys and like how much care you put into your posing.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, it's really cool to see, especially with the age you are as well. I might need to pay you for some posing coaching, to be honest, at some point. But
Yeah.
yeah, man, it's sick. Um, so with your training, because I've seen some of your training before as well, how has that kind of changed over time, or have you always just trained the same? Like it seems like you train quite heavy and like low volume. Like what was kind of the introduction to that?
I've done pretty much every type of training split you could probably do. Like there was a point in time where I would train arms like every single day, or I've done bro splits, I've done everything. I would say when I got my first ever coach in 2021, uh, it was a lot like it. That started me off with like reducing my volume a ton. Like I would go from doing like 5 to 6 different exercises for like my chest in one session to cutting it down and understanding that like not all work is quality work. And then, but at that point, still, I would still do a lot more of like intensifiers during my sessions or a lot more higher rep ranges. And I still do higher rep ranges and stuff, But especially with this like last off season, we a lot of the focus was on literally reducing the amount of volume I do. Like for example, my quads. I think there was a point in time where I was literally doing like 4 sets of quads in a week, but literally trying to be the strongest bodybuilder like I could conceivably be
Yeah.
within like well, obviously within the restraints of like good form and everything. So I got really strong on like my Cybex hack squat. I was like, I think I got to
Seen
like
that.
six plates and like a 10 or something. And
Yeah.
that obviously paid like dividends with my
Mhm.
legs, and same kind of process was applied with like my training my arms. Like that's the same kind of thing. I always think about literally just being as strong as humanly possible,
That's so
and
cool.
I like to train that way. But there's also certain muscle groups where I'm like, I'm not an idiot. I know I'm predisposed genetically towards building those. So training that way just kind of helps anyway. But like I've recently been honing in with training like my triceps, which always kind of lag behind my biceps, or even like my chest, which has grown a lot this season, with first set priority is the way I've been looking at it. Cause like there's been times in the past where I would train and I'd usually put those muscle groups later in the session and
Mm.
not give it as much of, and not even being able to give that like kind of like neurological like drive into training it. But this off season and this prep, this whole time, we've been making sure to put those kind of muscle groups earlier in the session, and with a lot less total sets, pretty much, but like splitting it up between more exercises because I have more of an ability to go into those. Like if I know in my head, okay, I have 1 set of this tricep extension, I need to make the absolute most I can of it. And it's just been able to give me more motivation internally to actually produce a worthwhile set during that one.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Sounds like you understand the importance of quality, you know, like I think, yeah, it's like, I'm the same. Like I do like 3, 4 sets of quads, and genuinely my quads have grown the most since doing that. It's like you start going, oh, I need less quads. I'm going to do less work, and then you get more quads because
Yeah,
the work gets better.
yeah, that's
So
what happened.
you can't
This off
really,
season.
yeah, yeah, you can't really fix that issue because for me, like my quads, I mean, I think it's good to get them bigger, but it almost sometimes takes away from like my upper sometimes. It's
Symmetry.
like
Yeah,
I think the only way to actually make them grow less is training them less freak like maybe once every 2 weeks.
yeah,
But yeah, I do think that like kind of Mike Mensa, like 1 set, everything, move on is so important for people to learn because I always say it to clients like you got people on one end that are like so obsessed with form and accuracy, but they don't train hard enough, and then you have people that train too hard and then their form isn't great. But I'd much rather people be this way and like just throwing everything at those sets they do, just literally rinsing everything from it, and then they move on to the next thing is so important. Otherwise, you're wasting time in the gym, you're depleting energy, and especially you're probably noticing it now in prep, like that's even more important. Like you said about front of the session, doing things that are a priority, like using that energy that's limited in a really smart way is a game changer,
yeah,
100% for
yeah.
sure. Yeah.
Feel like in like there's so many distractions on social media and trends in terms of training, and one thing that's always just seems to ring true is just aiming to get strong over time.
Mm.
I feel like the more time I spend in bodybuilding and the more people I speak with who are really good, that's usually the number one priority. And it's just get strong. Like if you're in doubt of what you should do, or just pick movements and get really strong, and it
Absolutely.
will likely work. I think if you're initially like with yourself, you were probably doing so much, and then you had to have somebody pull you back and be like, "Whoa, like we can get more quality here." What I don't like about a lot of stuff today is people are going in and immediately it's, I'm just gonna do 1 set when they haven't got that
Yeah.
foundation of knowing how to actually really work hard.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's a good message to be honest with you, because there's a lot of people I think that they've lost their way with what's most important in their training. Just yeah, that strength aspect to be honest.
I think
That-
the stronger you get, the less volume you should do because it's not just because you're stronger and it's more fatiguing, but you're actually getting better at training in terms of intensity. So therefore, you need less work. Like there's definitely a lot of my clients that like if I put them on 1 set per exercise, they just wouldn't really grow because they're not training hard enough. You know, Um, even
Yeah.
it takes a while to get there, and
That's
it's a dangerous game when people nowadays are like, "Oh yeah, low volume's king," but you just train like a pussy. Like you actually need to train hard first.
yeah.
Yeah.
There's something to be said about like being like I've had programs before, or I've made programs for myself before, where I've done like I'll do a set to like 15 to 20 reps and do like 3 to 4 rest pauses afterwards. But like
That's
it was fun and that was good and it kept me in. But also when you not everything has to be to that extreme, but it gives you the ability to gauge like better as well, like when you're actually closer towards failure rather than if you just right from the jump of your training you go towards those lower rep ranges. You go towards those lower rep ranges and those lower set ranges, but you've never really been able to overcome and know how to like ignore like the stimulus inside your body that's telling you like no this isn't like this like the yeah like overcoming the stimulus that's saying this is too much kind of thing. You have to learn that. It's kind of like a skill in of itself.
yeah, yeah, 100%. I think the best thing I say to clients is just shut your eyes, listen to some music. It's no surprise that the people that struggle with train to failure, it's like they're in some commercial gym, they've got no headphones on, and it's like the worst background music ever.
Yeah, it's
And they're just like, oh, like you can tell that, oh, like it hurts, like oh, and I'm like, just you gotta listen to some serious shit and get you
yeah.
really motivated to get after it. You can't.
I like to find like a scratch in the floor. Like when I in my off season,
Yeah,
I got
yeah.
really strong. I got really strong on RDLs. Like I was doing like a 5 play RDL at one point, and in the
The
gym,
same.
I remember there was a on the floor like the wooden bit. I'd always pick this one specific one because it had like a scratch in the corner of the thingy, and I'd literally always be just zoned in on staring at that the whole time.
Yeah,
That's what kept me to just ignore everything else but that.
yeah. You gotta like
Yeah.
zone out almost and just be in like another world. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, 100%. What music do you like to train to?
You know what? Sometimes it really varies. Like I will one day I might be listening to a lot of R&B. Like I might just be in the mood for some R&B. That's usually when I'm training arms though. Like it's a lot less of a like a real need to
Yeah.
like throw my life away. But
Do
a
you
lot
train
some
arms on its own, or do
so it will be like I'll
you have an arm
do
day?
it's like a back and arms day, but so the majority of the
Okay,
focus of that session will be my arms.
cool.
But like I'll start off with some lat work because I really still need to focus on like my width. So I would usually start. So I call it arm day because the majority of the session, once I'm done with like the 3 to 4 sets of back, it's literally just straight up just arms.
Yeah,
So that one's a lot more. And I'm also sorry, I'm also just happier during those days. So I listen to like a lot more chill, like R&B kind
yeah,
of thing.
yeah,
But I listen to like a lot of rap. I'm listening to a lot of like old like rock,
yeah.
like guitarists like Jimi Hendrix and stuff
Oh,
when I
cool.
train sometimes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
bro. Yeah. I
it's
feel
good.
like the like for push days and arms and stuff, it's yeah, you're almost like going around the gym smiling and bopping
Yeah,
about, like listen to your R&B and like the smooth tunes. And then
yeah.
when it's legs, you gotta like, all right, let me put on some like
Let me seriously.
some metal and some
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
I just got these Bose headphones like over proper ones,
of
and
the headlines.
they're
Yeah,
noise cancelling, and oh my god, it's like completely cannot hear a thing.
mm.
So so good. I'm excited to do RDLs with them tomorrow because they actually fit. Because the issue with overhead ones is like they fall off, but these really sit
Mm.
really well. So, but
Yeah. I
yeah,
no, that's
I
good.
was just
So go
saying
ahead.
I got them because you know when you're deep into prep and people try and speak to you when you've got your headphones in and you're like,
Yeah,
and so
yeah.
I just wanted
It's a
to make
good
it as
cue.
obvious as possible. Like, don't talk to me,
Yeah.
please.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've always like I love music in general. Like I'm always listening to music, even when I'm
yeah,
outside the gym. I'm
same.
just thinking about music. So I've always like had like really high quality headphones. But I recently, not recently, like for my birthday, I got these Sennheiser Momentum 4s. If you ever get the chance to like, if you walk past a Sennheiser store or something and try those, best headphones I've ever used in my
Really,
entire life. They're
wow,
insane, and like you can adjust all the quality on it, and they're
wow.
just amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think there is a bit of like a thing there between body people that love training who really enjoy music. Because all
Mm.
my training, like especially in the past, it was always like I gotta put this song on for this set. I got to listen to
Yeah,
this song for this set. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
yeah.
such an emotional thing. It's such like an emotional connection between the music and the set. But
Mm.
then it's weird because on some sets I'll be in it and I don't hear the music.
Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
hear
You
the
don't know
music
what.
for maybe like the
Yeah.
first two reps and then
Yeah,
I'm just
Gone.
gone.
Yeah.
that's
I'm
true.
just yeah.
For the entirety of my off season, um, every time I would hack squat, I'd put on I'd put on this specific song. It's so corny to say, but you know the song "I'm a Boss" by like Rick Ross and
Yeah. Yeah.
Mill. And
Yeah.
every single time, every time I hack squat, I play that. And then there's a song called "Win." Every time I'd RDL, I'd play that, and
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know what it is. I'm just like, yeah, this is what I need for this specific
Yeah. It's
moment.
just reaffirming like your goals and
Yeah,
what you're in there for.
yeah, literally,
100%. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, just going back on what you said, so you do arms. I'm intrigued to hear like, so what would you say? Because it's obviously that a lot of people looking at your physique would probably be like,
Mm,
what weakness do you have? Uh,
mm.
but I'd like to hear it from your perspective. What would you say going in after this prep? What is the main focus? I'm going to get your physique up, people can see because we're just talking about your physique. No one actually knows what you look like, especially because you're in a baggy top. So yeah, this was nuts, man. This is 5 days outlook. Crazy, man.
I'd say my weaknesses would be my lats.
Not from
I
the
think my
front.
lats from the front, I think they're fine, but from the
Yeah,
back,
The
I could
back.
do with more like width
low,
coming out just to make it more
like,
symmetrical in my legs.
like lower lat.
Yeah,
Yeah, I see that. Yeah, I see that lower lat. You have. I don't want to say like I don't want to compare you to me. I think you smoke me, but um, you have very good biceps. That when I
yeah,
hit my back double, my biceps are really dominant. Like it's like if your biceps were like smaller, this would look way bigger. Do you know what I
yeah,
mean? So
yeah,
it's not
yeah.
that
That
your
was
back's weak. It's just in that shot because you have very long arms in the front shot, it doesn't really like
take
you can
away.
still see your lats a lot, especially with the way you twist. But for this, it's like biceps.
Yeah, that was the
So
issue. Even having like in terms of my mobility, like being able to twist across properly, something I struggled with and still do because of my arm size.
Is that something that you do for your posing? Do you do kind of specific mobility work or get any kind of manual therapy done, or is it just
For
practice?
for a while, I ignored all types of mobility work, and then it kind of caught up to me. Like my
yeah,
shoulders got super stiff, and my chest was like super tight, and so I started doing a lot more mobility work in terms of like being able to internally and externally rotate my shoulders like better to open up. But in terms of posing though, that's more just practice. Like,
Hmm.
I thought this was really cool, man, to see you next to him.
oh yeah, that was a cool
That's
one.
Yeah,
so
man.
mad.
I actually kind of have you winning that shot. I'll be honest. Got a bit more
Yeah,
thickness.
that is wild.
Yeah, I'd also say thickness through my
He wins. He
chest.
wins that,
Yeah,
but that's obviously he wins that one.
yeah.
Yeah,
Thickness
thickness.
through my chest and shoulders would be so. I wouldn't necessarily say weak points, but it's just priority after this off season.
Yeah, well, I get that. I think it's hard sometimes when you look so good. It's like it's hard to but you got to nitpick, especially for what you're striving for. Because it's like
Yeah,
Hmm.
you win all these shows, and then I don't know, you stand next to whoever could possibly beat you. But like, let's say there's someone at that top level as well. You're next to them. That's when you start to be like, oh shit, okay, I need this.
There's- yeah, that's a glaring weakness now. This and that. Yeah.
I want to get up. Do you have a comparison recently of your transformation?
Um,
You got
there was one I did where it was 6 weeks out versus 6 weeks out. I think it was so there should have been a full day of eating one I posted like earlier on, like maybe just before the first show.
okay.
Uh,
Wait, what was the first show?
and then before
Two,
yeah, so
two
after
rows.
just before New York, like the one where I'm on the skyscraper,
Yeah,
there
yeah,
should
yeah.
be a post where I did like 6 weeks out 2025, 6 weeks out 2023.
Wait, it's not there. Hold on, maybe
If
it's
you got up a little bit more,
not.
um, yeah, that one next to the one on my legs. Click that one.
That wait, wait.
Nah, That one. Try that.
This one.
No, no, no. The one on the right. Oh no, that's my split. If you go up more, actually, then
Yeah, yeah.
where is where is it? Maybe it's this. What's that side chest one?
Where? Which one?
Oh no, that's a real. I can't. Let me go on my own
I
Instagram
can
and try to
just, I
find
could
it.
just scroll. We'll probably get there pretty quick. Yeah,
Yeah.
we get there. Okay, we're already there. Yeah, this is just nuts. So this is when,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
bro, it's not
Yeah,
just
that
like
is mad.
it's not just that you put on loads of muscle. You grew up, man. Like you grew up. Obviously, it was a couple of years, but yeah, man, you grew up a lot in those 2 years.
Yeah.
You look so much younger. Crazy.
Some serious anabolism going on there, man. Like, yeah,
Grew a little bit of a
crazy.
beard.
Yeah, bro. It's crazy.
What the fuck?
Crazy.
Look at that. Especially the side try. This what you notice. So I know you keep talking about you need more chest thickness, delt thickness, but like that's what you needed here, big time,
Mm,
and you've already achieved it big time. So I guess just keep doing what you've been doing.
yeah.
What the fuck? It's just ridiculous.
Yeah. I think also part of the problem with that look in 2023, which is what we're not doing now, is we really went for like a lot of conditioning.
Mm.
Like
Over that, yeah, pushed it a bit.
we definitely pushed it way too hard in comparison to how hard we're pushing now. Like we are I think I'm good conditioned, but it's that now we have that muscle tissue that even getting that conditioned, I still look like myself kind of thing.
Yeah, when you have more muscle, you can get a, a leaner look earlier because you've got that
Yeah,
muscularity to show it. It's really sick.
absolutely.
But yeah, and I guess that's good point to make with just what we just did. It's like if you feel like you're not making progress, go back a year and just look back because
Mhm.
although for Toitan it's nuts, I forgot that you were that. I thought you made us progress, but that's yeah, like you look
Mhm.
like a quarter of the size. It's wild.
Yeah, it's crazy. We were from the first show this year, the WMBF show. The one day out, I was 84 kilo, which is literally 10 kilos up than 2023, one day out. It's
Yeah, it's wild.
crazy.
Yeah, that's unheard of, man. That's crazy.
Did you get any
Yeah.
Yeah.
taller? Did you get taller?
Um,
Are you sure?
I grew, yeah, I grew 2 centimeters. I think it
Oh
was two
wow.
centimeters.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. I was 177 centimeters 2023. And then I'm right now I'm 179.5. So I grew
Yeah,
like
yeah.
two and a half. Yeah.
Yeah, crazy. Yeah, man. So what's after these? So I guess before we go into that, we got the show this weekend, and then are you doing any others after that, or is just this?
So what I was gonna do is that so with the natural IFBB you have to win one of the natural shows and then you qualify for the Ben Weeders. And then
Okay.
if you win the Ben Weeders, then that's a ticket to the Olympia.
Yeah, yeah,
I was originally gonna keep it. I mean, it's good that this is coming out after the show. I was gonna
yeah.
keep it under wraps, being like, "Oh, job's not finished. One more show, kind of thing." And there's a show in Portugal, November 22nd.
Mm,
So if hopefully all goes well and I win this show, then it would be another 4 weeks, and then I'm in Portugal.
cool. And then maybe Ben Weeders.
Nice.
Yeah, but then that'll be the Ben Weeders 2026. So then I'll have that's why I want
Ah,
to do this Portugal one
I
because then it'll
see.
give
To
me a whole
qualify
year.
for it for the
Yeah,
next.
yeah.
Nice.
So I'll have a whole another year of off season of growing before then even competing again because I'm not the kind of person. I don't like doing like a 4 month off season and then going again. I think, especially with being your natural, with the especially for me as well, because I get in really good momentum with training. The longer you can go in the off season, the better. So
Mm.
if I have like pretty much an entire calendar year and then just prep for like 10, 12 weeks, I know I can get conditioned very well, very easily. That would be the ideal like course of action for me.
Yeah. Well, so yeah, I was gonna go on to asking that what was the plan off season wise, but you said 10, 12 week prep, maybe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even this prep was 13 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is what I
Oh,
was
wow.
I was thinking in my head. It's like so you're gonna be really kind of on the post show management, I guess, to make that happen.
Yeah. And it's
Yeah.
hard
Yeah.
because literally after when I get back to England, another good thing that this is coming out after uh wait, when is Yeah, so if you post this on Wednesday, yeah, it should be fine. So I have another I so with Control Insanity, there's like brand trips,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it'll be a first in a lifetime kind of opportunity for me. I'm going to Japan.
Oh wow, that's
Oh
cool.
wow,
Yeah,
man.
so that's gonna be crazy. But the thing is that, yeah, so going to Japan, by the time I get back from Japan, I would be 2 weeks out from the Portugal one. So it's like um I'm gonna have to make sure I don't go crazy in Japan pretty much.
Yeah, yeah.
Damn, yeah,
And
going to Japan on restrictions.
I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna enjoy food, like, but I'm gonna try and eat like a regular person that's not post prep. So like
Yeah,
maybe one serving of whatever is enough. You don't have to go for five more. You don't have to do.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna make sure I still do my steps. I'm still training. I'm still getting adequate protein, etc. to be fine afterwards. Because that was even because there was the WNBF World Championships. My original what I wanted to do was is that if I didn't win this pro card from the IFBB, is that I would then just do
Pro
the World
classic.
Championships. Yeah, yeah, I'll do the pro World Championships, but that's the exact day.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
Yeah,
get
it's the exact day I would be in thinking, so I was like, it doesn't
you.
work.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because you'd be against my client. Gonzalo's doing Pro Classic.
Oh yeah.
Have you seen
Yeah.
him? Spanish guy.
Yeah. I think. Oh no, I think I'm. Yes, yes.
Yeah,
Actually,
he's
I was
good.
actually. You know what? That's actually funny. I was actually worried. Not worried, but I was like, oh damn, it'd be a good show if he does this coming
Pro.
weekend.
Oh right, yeah, yeah. But he's just gonna
Yeah.
focus on Pro
WNBF.
Classic, which will be cool because he's so
Yeah.
classic. Yeah.
Yeah,
I,
he's very
I
close.
was also kind of asking you, like, oh shit, is he gonna be against Gonzalo in Pro Classic? Yeah, but
No.
yeah, man, that sounds like a good plan. I think post show like management when you've got a show that in the next year is tricky, but I think you're very experienced to manage it. And I was actually thinking about this myself. It's like if because I don't really care about the hunger. I care about energy. You know, when you got like low energy and prep, that's what is like rough. But hunger's like hunger. You know, you get at this stage, you get you so used to it.
Yeah.
So I was part of me was thinking like maybe after this year I'll just post show manage it so well that I could start prep next year at like 79 kilos,
Mm.
like and do like a really short prep because then it's and just have a lot of flexibility before that and in and around it with like my son Milo, you know,
Yeah.
go on holidays with him and just keep
Yeah.
myself in a good spot, you know.
So
So you see some of the best naturals in the world, they don't go that far above their stage weight, you know.
the thing is with me that's like super lucky is that I get pretty heavy but stay relatively lean. Like
Yes,
I
and
got
you've
up to
got a
like
lot of muscle.
yeah.
Yeah, basically. Yeah,
Yeah, like
I get
I
heavy,
mean
but weirdly,
I'm
like,
never getting soft. It's
yeah,
so weird.
what's going on? Just
like
adding kilos of tissue.
tissue. Like I got up to around I was teetering like very close to 100 kilo. And like under the right lighting and if I was flexing hard enough, you could still see like abs and like my quad separation never leaves, like no matter how heavy I'd ever get. So I'm
Yeah,
like, and I know, and because I'm fortunate enough to be in a position where I don't have many like outside extenuating like circumstances that preps for me, I don't necessarily need like a 20 week or like a 30 week kind of thing. Like I
yeah, yeah.
know in 10 weeks
I'm
I
a
can get to, yeah. So like I know I can get into conditioning like 10, 12, 13 week kind of time period. Like that was also part of the problem of like last season was that we got in condition really early. And I'll hold my hands up and be honest and stuff. Like I was because it was my first prep. Dealing with like the like mental side of it wasn't the best at the time.
mm,
So like sometimes I'd over like Leon would say just do 10K steps or just do 30-minute cardio, and I'd be like nah, I need 50 minutes, I need 20,000
yeah,
steps kind of thing.
yeah.
And I've obviously matured past that kind of thing where now I literally just follow the exact plan. So even with like the off season, uh, I feel like when I get super heavy, I know in 10, 12 weeks, if I just follow strictly, then it should be fine. So post show for me is never really that big of a worry how heavy I get, but maintaining it in Japan will be tricky for sure. Not tricky, but just interesting, just how much expenditure I get done.
You know what will be half? Well, actually, do you have a lot of sodium in your diet?
Yeah,
You do.
yeah.
Okay, that's good. If you didn't, you're about to turn into a water buffalo. Yeah.
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 Because the sodium will be so high, like sushi, all that stuff.
See, that's something I literally that's something to say about with coaching as well that's so valuable is that at first when I started getting coached, I didn't really ask many questions and didn't understand much of anything. So
Yeah.
I would also then, because I would be doubting myself and stuff, I'd go online and search something up and then just make my own decisions like outside of what I've been told to follow in the plan. But like now that we communicate a lot better and I just follow the plan and everything, that's really helped with like my peak weeks and stuff because
Oh yeah.
previously I'd literally see what he's saying and be like, nah, I'm gonna go off on my own. I didn't understand like with sodium and all this and that. So I was like,
Yeah.
oh,
I
messed
think
up
that
my peaks. That's not for sure.
I think it comes with maturity and just like experience and knowing. Yeah, but it's just so important, like being coachable and just like just being transparent and just doing it
Yeah,
and communicating. It makes such a difference. Yeah,
100%.
yeah, for sure. Yeah.
What would you, so at the minute, what are you doing for work, or is it just, are you kind of just at home? And long term as well, what's the goal? Is it just to be a professional bodybuilder and essentially earn a living from that, or is there coaching involved? What is kind of the long term plan with yourself?
So after graduating, well, so I was at uni for a while, so a lot of my money was literally just student finance, and I was working at Nando's, but that like just killed me. But what I was doing whilst at uni and making money from Nando's and a little bit from social media, I saved up a bunch of money. So I've been living pretty much like with that saved money and then whatever money I make on social media through like brands and stuff. And then recently I started doing online coaching as well. So I've been making money through that. My long-term goal is to like make bodybuilding my career, like through all types of sources of income that are
Mm.
associated with the bodybuilding space. Because
Yeah.
there's definitely a lane there. It's just about marketing yourself and promoting
Yeah,
yourself to be in those positions, in those conversations.
100%. Firstly, I was
For
gonna say
sure.
like you could definitely coach well, man. Like I can tell you got a head on your shoulders. You got a lot of knowledge from what you've been doing. Obviously, you've been walking the walk for a while, but I can tell in what you're saying, like there's definitely a lot of knowledge you could apply on people. I definitely think it could be worth giving that a go for sure. And with your following picking up, all you need to do is get like a couple of really good clients that do the work, and you just show that, and then
Yeah.
people sell into it 100%. Um, in terms of yeah, like sponsorships and bodybuilding and all that, is that what would you say? So with coaching versus that, what would you say is if you pick one? What would you? Is it more the sponsorships, bodybuilding? Is that kind of
As in like what would I prefer to like
yeah?
be
Where
like a
would you prefer? Would you rather be coaching a lot and then doing bodybuilding, or would you rather be like athlete? I'm an athlete that's got loads of sponsorships and not having to think about coaching.
I'd rather be an athlete that has a
Yeah,
bunch of sponsorships, but also because I've been coaching now for like 3 4 months. I've met some incredible guys,
yeah,
speaking to them and dealing with them and stuff, and it kind of even extends past why I even because I for a while I didn't like posting on social media because it was like you have to play into the algorithm, da da da, whatever. But like I get certain messages from people that like are really heartfelt, and
yeah,
like the ability to even have an impact on someone that's like
yeah,
that you never probably would never meet in your life has always like kind of resonated with me. So especially with a lot of the people I've met with coaching and spoke to with coaching and been able to like help, I like that. So it'd be more like yeah, I'd like to be an athlete that's like oh use my code da, 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 but also still have like a coaching side where it's like I'm able to have a hands-on effect with a group of people.
yeah. No, I hear you. I hear you. So yeah, you do YouTube.
Uh, I
Um,
started posting
you should.
like vlog videos that I just record myself kind of
Yeah.
thing. Yeah,
Yeah, I think that would be something to get into for sure for you because people want to see what you're doing 100%, especially with this
yeah,
like the outcomes of this prep. You can really get on that. But yeah, in
yeah.
terms of your like plans within competing, obviously you said Bermuda Naturals Olympia. Is that like do you have an interest in being, I don't know, like the best natural bodybuilder in the WF worlds, or is it more like IFBB and that's the route you want to go?
I think so. I don't word it. Feel like there is an emerging space within the IFBB
Yeah.
potentially in the future for the naturals because they are expanding like
Yeah.
the amount
Yeah.
of shows they're doing per year. And I feel like being at the forefront of that, especially with my goals with social media, it kind of links in hand, especially with
Yeah.
the opportunities they are with that, with like going to the Olympia. Obviously, you never place you go to the Olympia being a natural guy, but I feel like that kind of lane is very multiple and aspirational because one of my biggest goals is to win a pro show as a natural, like not the
Yeah.
natural test pro shows, like but like a regular one, or even placing. If I was to ever place, like a lifelong goal would be to place in the Arnold Classic or any of these like serious pro shows as a natural. I feel like that speaks volumes to what's possible for a physique. And
Mm.
although I highly respect WNBF and I highly respect all like PNBA and all the other natural divisions, I feel like being there's a real chance to be someone that's like stood out by doing that route, if that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you think
Sure.
what's your thoughts on like? Do you think there should be an Olympia IFBB natural show that's like more coverage and people watching it? Do you think that's something?
I genuinely think there is like with the I don't know what with the coming like generation of like athletes that aren't like for me part of the reason I haven't gone enhanced is like I'm really risk averse. Like
Yeah.
I don't want to have a heart attack because I'm chasing a pro card or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't
Mm.
want to risk it. I feel like with the especially with the more shows being put up and the eventually the standard will keep rising and rising. I feel like there is room for it eventually in the future and that would be cool to see.
Yeah.
I think that's coming. I think that's inevitable. I
Yeah.
think that's yeah, with the way that they're going with the Ben Wheeler shows and yeah, it's inevitable. I was gonna ask you how because obviously you have an extremely impressive physique and how do you deal with people that potentially say to you, this isn't possible naturally? I know
Yeah.
that Greg Doucette, I think, made a video on you as well. Like, how do you deal with that noise? How do you just say to yourself, this is just all nonsense and stay focused on what you need to do?
To be fair, as much as I love the reception I get on social media, like the positive, like reinforcement of people being like, oh, you're on point, you're in condition, you're in this and that. I kind of don't listen to anything people say on social media, like at all.
Yeah.
Mm,
Because like there's been times, especially like in my off season and stuff, like I've gotten people that comment like literally under the exact same post. Someone would comment, amazing triceps, bro. What's your tricep builder? And then someone else 20 minutes later would also comment, your triceps need work. So it's like there's a million trillion billion opinions on social media all the time. And if
Yeah.
you were to always listen to and buy into everything, one minute you're thinking, I'm the next best thing, and the next minute you're thinking, damn, I need to stop posting because this guy hates me or this guy da da
Yeah.
da. And it's just like your head would be in a trillion different places. So like I don't like unfortunately, it's like it adds to your algorithm. It adds to the boosting of the content of the what's the word I'm looking for? Of the engagement with your content. So it's like the more people that might say this and that, it's like that's cool, but you don't know me. So it's like I don't pay it much
Yeah.
mind or attention. Yeah, especially because when I get heavier again, eventually no one's gonna care. Like when I was posting my physique 3 4 months ago, they didn't give a no one gave a about whether I was natural or not. So it's like it just comes with the territory of like competing and being in the public space. So it
I think this
doesn't
is a
matter.
lot
yeah.
that you said that because something I notice is like the best athletes I work with are the ones that are the most calm and chilled
Yeah,
out. You seem very chilled out.
yeah,
So yeah, you got a good response to training. You know what you're doing. You're working hard, but you also seem pretty chilled in the sense of like unfazed by Insta comments,
yeah,
not like worrying about your physique and
yeah.
things like
More
that.
often
It's
than
so
not,
important.
more often than not, I kind of just laugh at them because sometimes you can really see that like people get really emotionally like
Yeah,
there was a guy that was commenting under a post a while ago, and he was getting like really philosophical about it. He was like, as human beings, we have a moral dignity to this and that, and I
yeah.
was just like,
I've had
bro,
that.
just
It's
go for a
mad.
walk, go
It's
outside.
like almost like Bible, like does
Yeah,
it have
like he was,
what?
and I was just like, bro, like you're spending too much time worrying about me, bro. Like, just go live. And that's why like I don't reply to or like pay attention to or comment back with anything because it's just ceaseless and more often than not, they don't. No one cares. Like Yeah,
Yeah,
it's just
I've
it's,
had some pretty like crazy like hate in the past on
yeah,
Instagram, and it's actually quite funny. I don't want to say funny to
mm,
because it actually it's kind of sad at the same time for them, but like
yeah,
you actually need to remember like that comment is actually written by a human being on their phone typing it
yeah,
out or it within their day. So like my day right now,
yeah,
we're on this podcast and then I've got loads of check-ins to do and I've got like all this shit to do in my day and I'm busy. This guy is
mm,
like got things going on in his day, but he's
yeah.
deciding to just
I
stay
need
on his
to,
phone and then reply again and again and again and stay there on
yeah,
a person's Instagram that they have no idea who they are in person. And
yeah,
it's just like when you think about it
Yeah.
like that, there's no need to worry about what they're saying because the problem is them, not you. Like, what are they doing?
It's a
I don't,
bad place to be in.
yeah,
yeah,
I don't have enough time to comment positive stuff on people's Instagrams that I'm impressed by when I want to say something good because I'm so busy. So
yeah.
these people, they just have nothing better to do. Like,
Literally,
Yeah,
it's
man.
bad.
yeah, man, for sure. And
Yeah.
you can't win. So like, if you were like, let's say tomorrow you tell the world that you're going on steroids, and then you start
Yeah,
using steroids and you grow loads, and you're doing like a very reasonable amount, not like not too much, just like a healthy amount, you will then just have loads of people saying that you're just abusing the steroids and you're taking
yeah,
too many. So
yeah,
even if you're not natural, you can't avoid like the disbelief in your work,
yeah.
the discredit of the work you put in. But I think you gotta just like see that as like they aren't working hard enough and they're jealous that they
Mm.
can't do what you're doing. Like any noise
Mm.
is good noise. Like that's just
Literally,
me. Yeah.
especially with social media, it's so you just add it to the algorithm. So
Yeah,
that's
Yeah.
that's it. Yeah, that's why I still put out like clickbait stuff. Like,
yeah. I guess the point where you have to start putting like natural in your thing because it's like, yeah, man, someone will buy it and will
Bring it
keep it.
on, bring it on, bring it on. Yeah.
someone will comment, oh, he said he's natural, therefore he's not natural. I'm like,
Yeah,
bro, the reason I'm saying I'm natural is so you've now commented this to
I
boost
mean,
the algorithm. Think it through.
literally,
Now you've given me more views. Like that's why I'm
yeah,
saying it. It's not like yeah. Because if I didn't say I was natural, it's just like it could just be an average Joe. Like,
yeah.
yeah, yeah, man. But yeah. So I'm trying to think of anything else. I guess what, yeah, something I was going to ask you is in terms of like the Olympia right now. I know you said Chris Bumstead was something that really inspired you. Who would you kind of see your physique moving towards? Like what type? I know you're unique in your own physique, but like, is there any like athlete that you really like? I want to look like this, or I kind of want to be like in this shape, or that, or who you look up to the most right now? Be interested to know.
Yeah, on a similar thing to what I literally just said about like hate comments, whatever, like you can't listen to the things. Like I'll get people to comment. Like one of my posts recently went really viral and like tons of people were tagging Logan Franklin. They're like,
Oh,
oh
really?
bro, you look just like Logan Franklin, da da da. And I was like, that's cool. And then this morning someone's like, oh, someone tag Mike Sommerfeld. Like, oh, you look just like Mike. And I was like, these two guys have completely different
Yeah, yeah.
physiques. And I've been told I look like all types of physiques. I think my biggest inspiration that's like an Olympia competitor is Niall Darwin
Yeah, he's
because we have a good like relationship,
man.
like we
Yeah,
talk
yeah,
all the time and we've trained together and we will like train together in the future and stuff. And same with Yemi as well because like he like I, literally I think I was on my way back from college one day and he literally messaged me on Instagram and he was just like, oh, chopping it up like just when I had like no followers and anything. And I've always appreciated him because he's like really just giving me a lot of pointers and tips. It's kind of the same way you have actually through my off season. Like I remember we periodically talk here and there about like my training and stuff. So
yeah, yeah.
those two guys are people I really look up to and like a lot of physiques I'm chasing. I would say my biggest, like the biggest, like inspiration physique, because this is who I think I look like, and I feel like I could develop something that's like similar to is it's not current competitors, Lee Haney.
Mm,
I feel like bone structure wise, and
yeah,
especially
yeah,
the way my physique like tapers out, especially when I
Yeah.
hit vacuum, I feel like I'm very similar to Lee Haney. And
yeah.
then especially so same with Flex Wheeler, I feel like he's also like physique wise, like when I'm training and I'm trying to like sculpt my physique, I feel like Lee Haney, Flex Wheeler, and like Niall Darwin definitely the physiques I'm like always thinking, okay, how can I get as close to that? How can I impose similar to that? Like for a
Mm,
while, I was hitting my front double bicep like straight on as possible, trying to hit it like Niles. But people were telling me, yeah, I have more of a side-on one, and in that side-on one, it looks more similar to Lee Haney. So I'm like, oh, cool. Like, either way, it's a win-win for me because I'm like,
Yeah,
yeah, I
yeah.
get to try to replicate my favorite physiques.
Yeah, it's interesting to say that because I was going to ask, like, do you want to do any bodybuilding shows? Because obviously Lee Haney and Flex Wheeler are bodybuilders. So, like,
Yeah, I'll
within natural
bodybuilders.
bodybuilding, do you want to ever hop in a bodybuilding class? Like, do you ever want to hit a most muscular on stage and stuff like that?
To be fair, not really.
No,
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 it doesn't appeal to me because I mean, there's no real relative difference, especially with natural bodybuilding. There's no real relative difference between natural and classic. But to be fair, that was actually the
100%.
reason, like,
I
because
agree.
the shapes like relatively always going to be there when you wash your natural. But
Yeah.
to be fair, that was part of the reason why I didn't do the UK DFBA this year because they put a weight cap on,
You wouldn't make
and
Yeah,
it.
in order to make that weight cap, I would have had to literally weigh the exact same I weighed in 2023, and I was like, that's not going to work. And then
Yeah.
I could have done bodybuilding, but I was just like, I'd rather just keep my physique as fresh as possible, and
Yeah. Yeah. Of
for the
course.
next shows
isn't the weight cap is like your height in centimeters
in
minus
centimeters and
hundred.
kilo.
100 or
Yeah.
something?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
Gonzalo just made it. Like he basically he was slightly over and he had to take all his clothes off and he literally just made it.
yeah.
Because he's like my height and 76. So he's like 176 centimeters. I think it's like 76
Yeah.
kilos.
It
So
was a
he's on the
strange.
cusp. Yeah.
Yeah, I personally think it's a strange decision to make with natural bodybuilding
It's a
because it's
weird.
like
Yeah.
because I feel like if it,
Yeah. Yeah.
oh
You go.
no,
You go.
sorry. I feel like if it's a case where you put the weight cap on in order to make sure that the competitors that compete are staying as like structurally tight to like fit the aesthetic you're looking for, I feel like a better way of doing that is just being more certain on your criteria and your judging, and then just
100%.
rewarding those physiques because it keeps away. I don't want to sound egotistical when I say this, but it keeps away like high level competitors that are just over that weight cap. And like
Yeah.
I would have loved to have done that the NBW and the UKDFBA because that was my favorite show. I did like I loved doing that UKDFBA show. I would have loved to have done it again. But it's just like I'm really not about to lose all my
Yeah.
muscle because I'm not that weight
Yeah.
cap.
I think the problem is I think they would argue that there's needs to be a difference in terms of something because in bodybuilding and
Mm-hmm.
classics like everything's the same like they would argue that you would just be an amazing natural bodybuilder I think
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah,
that a lot of the judges are people that have been there for a while they love natural bodybuilding and they judge it like the best natural bodybuilders are the ones with really good shape.
yeah,
One thing that's been interesting with Gonzalo doing Spain and these other shows is like he does classic first and then he goes in bodybuilding and both times he's been stood next to a guy that like pose for pose Gonzalo's winning the poses pretty sure but he stood next to a guy that's like kind of blocky humongous
mm,
legs short and just a bodybuilder that can't make classic and I think the
yeah,
judges see that and they're like well we've got to have some sort of criteria so then they give it to him and not Gonzalo even though Gonzalo's won every pose it's like criteria wise, he's more classic. And I think this is the problem
yeah,
in natural bodybuilding with the classic and the bodybuilding together, is it is quite confusing and what's what. Um,
yeah. It's yeah. There's very minimal because like it's hard to lose your shape as a natural unless
yeah,
you like
exactly.
onto the
Yeah,
most insane extreme like bloating during your off season, or you just never were specifically like tailored towards it. But I feel like when it just generally just comes down to how they interpret what classic is, which is always divisive. I feel like classic physique is always going to be a very divisive division
yeah.
because there's a million different ways someone could be classic in someone's specific opinion. So it's always a hard one.
What did you think of the Classic Olympia this year? Do you
Yeah.
think
So
the right person won it?
I think I love Ramon, and I'm like as a personality thing. I love Ramon. I think he's amazing, and he's a good ambassador for the sport. But I feel like with the precedence of like the way Chris won his Olympia and then has been able to maintain his Olympia, it probably should have gone to Mike simply because like I don't know how they gave Ramon the back double bicep pose. I feel like that was clearly Mike's pose. And I feel like Mike's shape is the most similar-esque to the standard that was set by Chris. But at the same time, it could be a case where they made the decision that, you know what, the Chris Bumstead era was the Chris Bumstead era, and they're looking for a new transitional period. And that like harder granite look of Ramon was what did it for them, and that's fair enough. I obviously I watched it. I watched it. Oh, my voice is going. I watched it in a sense where I'm always rooting. I was always rooting for Niall and Terence to place as high as humanly possible. So I was over the
Mm.
moon with Niall's fifth. Personally, with my bias, I'm not going to say I'm not biased. I personally would put him in the top three. I personally would swap out. Uh, no, I'll put him in the top four. I mean, I'd put him above Hosema simply
Yeah,
because I prefer the sweep. Because I feel like
the
while
shape.
tilting, I feel like when you hit like a front pose and you have to tilt, it doesn't take away from the classicness of the physique. But if someone can be straight on and straight up and prove to you that my shape is better, I don't need the illusion. I feel like that generally should be more in their favor, especially with like a quad sweep. But obviously, I'm not a judge. I wasn't there in person, so I'm not mad at it or anything. I'm over the moon. He got top five, and I feel like the same thing applies with turns. But then it just really comes down to like the depth of the physique in terms of like the fullness through the delts and like when
Yeah.
in certain poses, like in real life. Because I've never been a judge, I can't really tell. But like obviously, when they're watching, you can really see those nitty gritty differences, and I guess
Mm.
that's why they made their decisions. So yeah,
I feel
Yeah.
like it's always going to be so hard for Terence because of his stature. I
yeah,
when I look at Terence on his own,
It's
I'm
great.
like, oh, this is classic. This is Mr. Olympia. I'm like,
yeah,
surely the balance and he's just so complete. But then when he's among four people who are just giants and they've got that shape as well,
yeah.
it's going to
Just
be
takes
so
away.
hard.
Yeah.
It
Yeah,
kind of draws the eye towards them.
yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
I honestly think sometimes a lot of the time classics just judge like bodybuilding. It's like who looks the best in that pose, who looks the best in that pose, who's the most conditioned, and then that's it. Like, because sometimes you see people win that have like just massive quads, but they haven't got much taper and they just look good in a pose, but they're not that classic. And then it's like,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's why that's why I feel like it's important. Because what a lot of people will do is just spam one specific pose that they know looks really great for them, and like that demonstrates their classicness.
yeah,
But like I do that myself. Like I spam my front double biceps and my abs and thighs all the time. But I feel like expanding your range of poses that actually like really
yeah.
demonstrate that is will be key to like proving that you should have won that show or you should be placing higher in X, Y, and Z.
Yeah, because I think like with the favorite classic pose, so like the twisting back double bicep, like Arnold pose,
Mm.
like it looks cool.
Yeah.
But let's say like everyone's hitting a front shot and their shape looks crazy, and you just twist
Yeah.
and you hit that, but your front shot would have beaten them. Then what was the point in hitting it? That's what I think.
Yeah. I think you definitely need to think a lot before you go into whatever you pick as your favorite classic
Like
pose. Like
what
if
you
you're
want to hit
someone like
next to them.
yeah, like for me personally, I feel like there's very few people shape wise that demonstrate the same kind of shape I do. So I feel like when you've done all the other rounds of comparison, I've already demonstrated that shape is like key, like my that's my blow you out kind of thing. So then when they say favorite classic, I know myself. I know that from the side I might not be as dense as the guy next to me or
Yeah.
the guy on my right, but I know that I can demonstrate my muscularity really well when I hit like this pose because
Mm,
it's literally just look how big my quads are, look how big my bicep is, kind of thing. So
yeah.
that's why I go for that one. But yeah, you have to really know your physique and also think about like how good is this person in this pose next to me? Like, can my side leg be so much more dominating and so much more like well detailed compared to his
Yeah. Yeah.
front
Of
double?
course. Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Nice, man. Well, yeah, I think we've kind of spoke about a lot of stuff. I don't want to keep you too long because I know you're 3 days out, right? 3 days out. Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be 3 days out. Literally, we started putting in more carbs today. So
Oh, nice. You got a bit of
excited.
energy.
I'm waiting for I'm just eager to go eat some rice.
Yeah, I'll let you go. How many carbs you having?
So what we've been oh my god, my voice. This whole time we haven't peaked for any show traditionally. I mean you could it pretty much is like a front load kind of thing idea.
Yeah.
But because what we've always done is literally just like try to replicate the look that I bring when I post like my videos. Like the look I post in the gym is what we're trying to bring. So
Yeah.
all we do is just go in with my high days 3 days before the show and then just go to baseline the day before the show. So every time we've been doing it at 415 carbs, and then my regular carbs would be 338. But with this show, we're gonna go in with 5:15 instead
Yeah.
today, and then we'll
Leaner.
reassess tomorrow. Yeah, because I feel like I'm leaner.
You
We
can
feel like
push
we're
harder. I
leaner.
think.
Yeah, we're leaner this time than we were before the first show. So yeah, we're gonna 5:15 today, and then depending on how I look tomorrow,
Mm.
meal by meal, we'll decide whether to go for 5:15 again or 4:15. Yeah,
Nice. Well, best of luck, man. Honestly wish you all the
thank,
best, and yeah,
thank you.
hopefully you get the pro. Wait, it's not you going for the pro card at this show, or is it?
Yeah, that'll be
Yeah,
pro
yeah,
card. That'll be
yeah, yeah.
pro card, yeah,
Hopefully
that'd
we'll
be
see
good.
that. But either way, mate, you look phenomenal. So just enjoy it and game
Will
on
do.
because I know you're gonna bring it. It's gonna be good.
I
Yeah.
don't I don't think you need our luck, bro. I think you're I'm waiting on the Instagram post, to be honest. So
Nah, I feel like this show, there's quite a lot of good comparisons coming to this one, so this one
Yeah.
should
Yeah,
be
it's
good.
hard to say because I want to say that, oh yeah, you got this. But I know what it feels like when people say that. It kind of puts a bit of pressure
Yeah,
on. It's like people expect you to win.
yeah,
Because I've had
yeah,
people say it to me, I was like, oh, no doubts you're gonna win. I'm like, there is, and now I'm
there
gonna
is.
let you down if I don't win because you're like no doubts, like no.
Yeah,
So yeah, man, I'm sure you're gonna smash it, but at the same time, you look crazy, and yeah, just have a good time up there, man. You work hard for it, so been a good
yeah.
yeah,
prep to
man.
watch.
Thank you.
Nice. Well, yeah, I think we'll wrap it up there because I know you're probably hungry. I'm pretty hungry anyway. I'm on like a fifth of your carbs, so that's good. But yeah, so I appreciate everyone watching. It's been a really good another episode, and thank you for coming on, man. It's been great.
Anytime.
Thanks
My
for your
pleasure.
time, man.
Yeah, Elliot, any final words?
No, no,
No,
just
we're good.
it's really good to meet you, and you've got a very mature head on your shoulders. Like you
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
seem so mature. Like just
Thank
keep
you.
going. It seems like you're going in the great direction. So yeah, man, it's great to
Thank you.
see.
I'll just
Thank you
leave it
very
with
much.
I'll even just say I've seen in the past because obviously I've been watching Natural Bodybuilding for a while. I've seen some top genetic like responders to training, and people will even be like world champions, but they don't have the mindset you have and the ability to be coached like you do. Like I see top genetic individuals who go pretty far, but they never quite make it because they always turn up out of shape and they don't have a coach or they don't listen to people's advice. The best thing you do, mate, is you do those things. So if you keep doing that with your genetics, you're going to go so far compared to these guys. I mean, you're already in a condition in which a lot of hyper responders or people that respond well to training don't get into because they rely on their genetics for the muscle and they don't do the work. But you're doing that. So
Yeah.
yeah, it'll be good, man.
Thank
I
you very
wish you
much.
all the best. Yeah. Well, we'll wrap it up there.
Thank you very
So
much.
appreciate everyone watching, guys. And yeah, have
Peace.
another very good episode coming to you really soon. All right.
See you.